All right, y'all. Here we go. Y'all been wondering why the heck did that boy walk all them miles? I was wondering myself. I really was. So, um, and believe it or not, when I got off the trail, as soon as I got off the trail, I really felt that I was getting off too soon. I was really upset because I wasn't going to summit Katahdin this year, and I have since gotten over that and realized that I got off right when I was supposed to. God's timing is always perfect. My timing, not so much. Not so much at all, really. But God's timing is always perfect. And so, what started out as kind of a joke got real serious real quick. And it literally started as a joke. Talking about Richard giving Lisa the 55 Ford, in order to get us up there. And that's kind of where it started. And within a day, I'd say within a day, Lisa and I were both seriously talking about it and what it meant. And anyway, the kids all are on board, and Lisa and I are both all in at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to move to Maine. We're dropping everything here in Virginia. I don't have a job right now, and so I'm going to take that time to gut the kitchen and hopefully redo it. I'm praying about that. I'm praying that God's going to provide a way for me to put the money back into the kitchen. Being unemployed, it's going to take a miracle. So we're praying for that. And we're probably just going to finish the kitchen and then try to sell the rest of the house as is. It's an older house, needs some work, but we feel like as long as it's got a really good kitchen, we can get our money out of the house. And God's will, God's bill. He's going to make it happen. So we're stepping out in faith, and that's what we're going to do. And the church that we're talking about starting is not your typical white steeple church. It's not a traditional church. We're not traditionalists when it comes to our faith. God is a relational God. He desires to have a relationship with you, and he desires a relationship with you, and he's willing to meet you right where you're at right now. And that's something that we believe, that we read in the gospel, that we know is true. And so, for lack of a better term, or maybe it's the proper term, we're going to start what you would call a relevant church. And our demographic would be young families, or families in general, but people that don't see a relevance in going to a traditional white church, pew sitting, once a week, because they're just not, they don't feel that connection. But once you start feeling that connection to God, you desire to go fellowship, with fellow believers. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying to connect people to God through the gospel in a way that impacts them every day of their life, not just on Sundays, not just on Easter or Christmas, but every day. So that's what we're going to do. It's a big deal. And as far as starting the church, we've already decided it's going to start right in our living room, wherever that is. We don't know exactly where we're moving to. We probably won't move until we're shooting for the beginning of next summer. But we know that the church is going to start in our house, and it's actually going to be in our house. So we know that. We're both confident in that's what God wants us to do. So some of the things that came out of my walk, and some of you may or may not know that both Lisa and I are very active in our local church here. And actually there's a couple churches that we're now very active in. But I am definitely most comfortable serving behind the scenes. And that's just who I am. It's not that I'm like, it's not that talking in front of people, it's not like I have a fear of that. I don't. Like the Army kind of drummed that out of me, So, I mean, it's not that I mind standing up in front of a room full of people and speaking, because I don't. It's not where I'm most comfortable. Where I'm most comfortable is behind the scenes, and just doing things to build somebody else up. So when we talked about a pastor and how that's going to work, are we going to partner with a church that's up there? Are we going to, do we feel like God's going to provide a pastor? And God still may provide a pastor, and trust me, part of me is praying that, and maybe He will, because Lisa said to me, it might have even been before I came home when we were talking about it on the phone, or it might have been right when I came home. She's like, well, what if you preached to start with? What if you were the preacher? And I kind of felt like, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. So we're going to do it. So that is definitely not in my comfort zone. I've always kind of doubted my own ability to deliver the message of the gospel, but come to realize that it's not about me, and it's not about my ability, because God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called, is a popular saying. So, and we're standing on that. We're standing on the fact that God's going to provide a way. He's going to provide me with the ability to do what I need to do, because I don't have it. I'm not an ordained pastor. I don't have a bunch of fancy college degrees. I do have a love of Jesus. I'll tell you that right now, and I'm definitely being serious about that. And I definitely am serious about. I love people. Don't always like people. But I love seeing people come to Jesus. I love seeing people getting saved. I love seeing people grow in their faith. And so, I'm just standing on the fact that that's enough, and God's going to take care of the rest. And just like He always does, He's just like He meets everybody right where they're at. He's meeting me right where I'm at. And He knows me. He knows my background, knows everything I did, knows everything I'm going to do. So all I can do is be faithful and go ahead and accept it. Step out, take it on. And I tell you what, this is going to be a heck of an adventure. There's so many different what ifs out there. But right now we're just taking it one step at a time. We have a lot to do here around the house before we sell it, and so that's what my focus is right now. I'm still unemployed, and I'm actually somewhat comfortable with that, and that's not who I am. Before the trail, if I was sitting here talking to you unemployed for a week after I got back, I would have been freaking out. But I'm not, because I know God's going to make a way. So He's going to do it, and we're just going to follow, and we're just along for the ride. And I'm very excited about it. I really am. And just knowing that He's gonna take us up there, and He's going to use us, and in a way that we've been talking about for years, and Lisa and I have both been talking for years and years about having a small, self-sustainable farm, and we really believe that that's what we're going to. So it's going to be a country church. It really is, because it's going to start on a farm, and a working farm at that. So we're excited. See what's in store for us. We really don't know. Like I said, we don't know how it's all going to play out. But we both really feel that once Rosie graduates in June, that's it. We're supposed to get out of here, and going to meet some people, introduce them to this guy I know called Jesus, And I tell you what, he'll turn your life upside down. And I tell you, oh man, that is awesome. It is completely awesome. And we're both just really excited. I mean, I'm kind of rambling because I'm kind of beside myself when I start thinking about it. I kind of get at a loss of words. And but we're excited. So that's what's up. That's kind of what became of the trip. And like I said, this Maine was not on our radar. We did not think, hey, you go on your hike, and when you get back, maybe we'll move to Maine. Even though I do have family up there, we thought, well, yeah, exactly. We thought, we didn't feel, we thought beforehand that we'd be moving further south. We really did. We thought San Antonio, Asheville, North Carolina kind of came up, but that didn't really have a feeling about that. And the whole time I was on the trail, I kept on praying about San Antonio, and I was like, I'm not receiving anything about, hey, yep, San Antonio's it. You guys are going down there. Didn't receive anything about that. So it's kind of a surprise. Some of you watching this might be thinking that, well, he's got family there, so it makes sense. But like I said, I mean, for Lisa and I, it's a surprise. So we did not see Maine coming. And anyway, that's it. That's the news. So it's good news. It's actually great news, and we're both really excited about it. And just the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are absolutely endless. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off because it's getting kind of long. And just know I love y'all, and I'll talk to you soon.